In this short video, I'm just going to be showing how to do the basic installation of a insertion probe. In this particular installation, it's an ABB insertion probe. So to start with, the contractors fitted the installation point, and they've put a 2-inch fitting in with a reducer down to 1 inch. We're just removing the cap as we've just done so there. Off camera, my colleague's just getting the probe ready, so he's putting the PTFE tape around the threaded end of the insertion probe, just you'll see come into shot in a second. As you can see there at the bottom of the probe, you've got the white tape wrapped around. Next, on the side of the probe, you've got a small pressure point, so it's got a cap in as standard, but you can fit a pressure fitting in there if you wanted to measure pressure off the probe. So I'm just nipping that up now to make sure that's nice and tight, as if it's not tight, you could get some leakage out of there. We're happy it's tight now, so we're going to hand thread the 1-inch BSP fitting into the bushing and the tapping. And you see now, just turning the bottom, just hand tight, making sure you're getting the probe nice and upright so you're not cross threading, then hand tightening it down until you start to feel a bit of resistance, and then you can get the spanner on to tighten up the rest. The reason we've got 2 spanners here is one to hold on to the actual bushing so that doesn't spin, and then the other spanner is the one that you're going to use to tighten the probe up. So you can see here, just small turns at a time. It's already going to be quite tight because we did it hand tight as we could, so it's only going to have a few extra turns in there. Just replacing the larger spanner. So we're happy that that's nice and tight. Going to remove the spanners away now because we don't need those for the next part, and we can now release the handle which is on the side of the fitting, which is then going to make the probe live. There we go, pulled the handle, probe just jerked up slightly so we know that there's definitely pressure in it. And we're going to push the probe down. At the moment, see, we gave the probe a small push and it wouldn't move anywhere because the locking collar is still on. So just getting the Allen key now, which is going to unlock the locking collar, which will then allow the probe to slide down. There we go, so we've pushed the probe down. So we're going to push the probe down all the way to the bottom. So we're now touching the bottom of the main. And we're now going to lock on the locking collar because this is now going to be our reference point. Once that's locked on, you can pull the probe up and you'll see the locking mechanism will stay on the probe. So if you can see there, you can see the little part dangling down, or where the tag is. That's our reference point. We're now going to measure half the diameter less 30 centimeters. So this is a 300mm main. So we're going to measure 150 minus the 30. So we're actually going to measure 120 from the top of the nut to the underside of the locking mechanism, as you can see. So top of the nut to the underside will be around 120. And we're going to lock in the top nut, you can see there, that's going to hold the probe in place. We're then going to nip it up just so we get a bit of resistance. There we go, we can let go, the probe's not going anywhere now. So the locking mechanism isn't yet connected, but the probe is secured in and it won't move. In a second, we will get the Allen key back out. We'll drop that locking mechanism back down so it sits on top of the nut which we just tightened. There we go, you can see it drop down. And we're going to tighten that up in place. I'd always say just keep your head out of the way. Don't put your head over the top of the probe in case there was a sudden pressure surge or something that pushed the probe up. So we've now locked the locking mechanism in place, and that probe is pretty much installed and ready to go. The rest of the work will now be done at the display end with the transmitter. You can see we've got the bars, the one on the left and one on the right, in line with the main. You need those parallel, and forward flow in this instance is going from where I'm standing and then towards the probe, so from left to right.